The night was quiet, too quiet. A cold wind moved slowly through the tall trees. The moon was hidden behind dark clouds. Somewhere deep in the forest, a small wooden cabin stood alone. And in front of that cabin stood a little black girl. She was no older than 10. Her hands were shaking. Her clothes were thin. She carried a small bag that looked too heavy for her small body. She kept looking behind her, waiting, but no one came. Her name was Amara. Just 1 hour ago, she was sitting in a car. The heater was off. The windows were closed. The woman driving did not say a word. That woman was her stepmother. Amara remembered how her stepmom's face looked that night. Cold, hard, angry. "You don't belong in my house," the woman had said earlier that day. "You are not my blood. You are a problem." Amara had heard those words many times before. Ever since her father died, everything changed. Before, the house had laughter, warm food, kind words. After her father was gone, the house became quiet and cruel. Her stepmom never called her by her name. She called her girl. Sometimes worse. She gave Amara old clothes, cold food, and heavy chores. But tonight was different. Tonight, her stepmom drove her far away, past the city lights, past the small towns, deep into the forest. When the car finally stopped, Amara felt fear rise in her chest. "Get out," the woman said. Amara looked confused. "Where are we?" she asked softly. The stepmom opened the door and pulled her out. "There's a cabin," she said. "You will stay here." Amara's heart started beating fast. "But where will you go?" she asked. The woman did not answer. She took Amara's small bag and threw it on the ground. "Be grateful," she said. Then she turned back to the car. Amara stood frozen. "Please," Amara whispered. "I'll be good." The engine started. The car lights turned on. And just like that, the car drove away. Amara ran a few steps after it. "Wait," she cried. But the sound of the engine disappeared into the dark. That was when Amara realized the truth. She had been left behind, alone, in the middle of nowhere. Now, standing in front of the cabin, Amara hugged herself. Her teeth were shaking. Her eyes were full of tears. She knocked on the cabin door. No answer. She pushed it slowly. The door creaked open. Inside, the cabin was old and dusty. One broken chair, a small table, no light. Amara stepped inside and closed the door. The darkness felt heavy. She sat on the floor and pulled her knees close to her chest. "Mom," she whispered. Her real mother had died years ago. But when Amara was scared, she still talked to her in her heart. "I'm scared," she said softly. Her stomach growled. She had not eaten since morning. She opened her bag. Inside were old clothes and nothing else. No food, no water. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She remembered her mother's voice. "Amara," her mother used to say, "you are strong. Never forget that." Amara wiped her face. "I am strong," she whispered to herself. Suddenly, a sound came from outside. A branch snapped. Amara froze. Her heart started pounding. She held her breath. Footsteps? Or just the wind? The sound came again. Closer this time. Amara slowly stood up. She moved toward the small window and peeked outside. The forest was dark. Then she saw it. Lights. Car lights. They stopped near the cabin. Amara's eyes widened. Someone was here. Her mind raced. Was it her stepmom coming back? Or someone worse? The car door opened. A tall shadow stepped out. Amara stepped back, fear filling her body. She looked at the door. She looked at the window. She did not know what to do. The footsteps moved closer to the cabin. Then, a knock. Slow, calm, knock, knock. Amara's heart felt like it would jump out of her chest. A deep voice spoke from outside. "Hello. Is anyone there?" Amara did not answer. She stood still. The voice spoke again. "I don't want to scare you," the man said. "I just need help." Amara swallowed hard. She took one small step toward the door. She did not know it yet, but the person standing outside that cabin was about to change her life forever. The knock at the door did not come again. Silence filled the cabin. Amara stood still, her small hands tight into fists. Her heart was beating so fast it hurt. She did not know if she should cry, hide, or run. Outside, the forest breathed slowly. Leaves moved. The wind whispered. Minutes passed. No voice. No knock. Amara slowly stepped back from the door. Maybe it was not real, she whispered to herself. Her legs felt weak. She sat down on the cold wooden floor. The cabin smelled old and empty. Dust floated in the air. She pulled her jacket tighter around her body. The cold was getting worse. Her stomach growled again. The sound made her feel ashamed, like the forest could hear her hunger. Amara looked around the cabin, hoping to find something. Anything. She checked under the table. Nothing. She opened a broken drawer. Only spider webs. Her eyes filled with tears again, but she pushed them back. No crying, she told herself. Not now. She remembered how her stepmother used to laugh when she cried. Black girls are always too emotional, the woman once said with a cruel smile. Those words stayed in Amara's mind like scars. She hugged her knees and rocked slowly, trying to stay warm. Hours passed. The moon moved across the sky. The night felt endless. Every small sound made her jump. An owl. A fox. The wind hitting the walls. She wondered if anyone would ever find her. She wondered if anyone even cared. At some point, her eyes became heavy. Sleep pulled her down, but fear kept waking her up. In her half-sleep, memories came. Her father's smile, his warm voice, the way he used to lift her up and say, "My strong girl." Tears fell again. "I wish you were here," she whispered. Suddenly, a loud sound. The cabin door shook. Amara jumped up, her heart racing. Someone was trying to open the door. The handle moved. Amara backed away, her breath short. The door stopped. Then a voice spoke again. Calm. Slow. "Hey," the voice said. "I see a light. Are you okay in there?" It was the same voice from before. A man's voice. Amara stayed quiet. The man waited. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said. "I promise." His voice did not sound angry. It did not sound rushed. It sounded gentle. Amara swallowed hard. "Go away," she whispered, but her voice was too soft. "I can't," the man replied. "It's too cold out here, and you shouldn't be alone." That word hit her hard. Alone. Her hand moved slowly toward the door. She stopped. Her stepmom had taught her not to trust people, but her heart told her something else. "Who are you?" Amara finally asked, her voice shaking. There was a pause. "My name is Daniel," the man said. "I was driving through this area. My car had trouble. I saw this cabin light." Amara looked at the floor. "Where is your family?" Daniel asked gently. Her throat tightened. "They left," she said. The words felt heavy. Daniel did not speak right away. "That's not okay," he said softly. Something in his voice made Amara feel something she had not felt in a long time. Safety. Slowly, she opened the door just a little. Cold air rushed inside. Daniel stepped back to give her space. He was tall, clean, wearing a long coat. His eyes were kind, not sharp. He noticed her shaking. "You're freezing," he said. He took off his coat and placed it gently around her shoulders. Amara flinched, but did not pull away. No one had ever done that for her before. "Thank you," she whispered. Daniel looked at the empty cabin. "Did someone leave you here?" he asked. Amara nodded. Tears fell again, but this time she did not stop them. Daniel's face changed. His jaw tightened. His eyes filled with pain. "I won't leave you," he said. Amara looked up at him, confused. "You don't even know me," she said. Daniel smiled sadly. "Sometimes," he said, "that's when people need help the most." Amara did not know it yet. But this man was not just a stranger. He was a millionaire. And this night, this cold, painful night, was the beginning of a life she never imagined. Daniel did not rush her. He stood at the cabin door, giving Amara space, as if he understood that trust was fragile. The forest was still, but the night felt different now. Less cold, less empty. Amara held the heavy coat around her shoulders. It smelled clean, warm, safe. "Come outside for a moment," Daniel said softly. "I want you to see something." Amara hesitated. Her mind warned her to stay back. But her heart told her this man was not like the others. Slowly, she stepped outside. The cold air hit her face again, but Daniel walked beside her, not in front, not behind. Just beside. Near the cabin, a black car was parked. It was large, clean, and expensive. The engine was still running, lights glowing softly in the dark. Amara stared at it. She had never seen a car like that before. "Is this your car?" she asked. Daniel nodded. "Yes." She looked at him again. His shoes were polished. His watch caught the moonlight. His voice was calm, but strong. "You don't look like someone who gets lost," Amara said. Daniel smiled a little. "I don't," he replied. "But tonight I think I was meant to be here." Amara did not understand what he meant. Daniel opened the back door of the car. Inside was warm. Soft seats. A blanket. "You can sit here," he said. "Just to warm up." Amara stepped back. "I don't want to be trouble," she said. Daniel looked at her carefully. "You're not trouble," he said. "You're a child who was left alone. That is not your fault." Those words hit her deeply. No one had ever said that to her before. Slowly, she climbed into the car. The warmth wrapped around her like a hug. Her body relaxed for the first time that night. Daniel handed her a bottle of water and a small snack from the front seat. Amara stared at it. "Is it okay?" she asked. "It's for you," he said. Her hand shook as she ate. Every bite felt unreal. Daniel watched quietly. After a moment, he spoke. "My full name is Daniel Cross," he said. "I own a company. I travel a lot." Amara nodded, not fully understanding. "I don't tell people this often," Daniel continued, "but I am very rich." Amara's eyes widened. "Like rich?" she asked. Daniel smiled. "Yes." She looked down at her hands. "If you're rich," she said slowly, "why are you here in the forest?" Daniel leaned back, his face serious now. "Because money doesn't protect you from pain," he said, "and it doesn't stop you from being lonely." Amara looked at him. "I lost my family," Daniel said. "A long time ago." He did not explain more. He didn't need to. Amara felt something shift inside her. She was not the only one who felt broken. Daniel started the car. "I can't leave you here," he said. "That's not an option." Fear touched Amara again. "Will you take me back?" she asked quietly. Daniel turned and looked at her. "No," he said firmly. "I will not take you back to someone who hurt you." Tears filled her eyes. "What will happen to me?" she asked. Daniel took a slow breath. "We will do this the right way," he said. "Police. Social services. Safety." She nodded, though she didn't fully understand. As the car drove away from the cabin, Amara looked back through the window. The dark forest faded behind her. For the first time since her father died, she felt hope. But far away, in a warm house, her stepmother sat on a couch, scrolling on her phone, smiling. She believed the problem was gone. She did not know that the girl she left behind was now under the protection of a powerful man, and that the truth was about to come out. Amara woke up slowly. For a moment, she forgot where she was. The bed was soft, too soft. A warm blanket covered her body. The room smelled clean. Sunlight came through white curtains, touching her face gently. She sat up fast. This was not the cabin. Her heart started beating again. She looked around. The room was large. Clean walls. A small desk. A lamp. Fresh clothes folded neatly on a chair. Amara touched the bed. "Am I dreaming?" she whispered. A knock came at the door. She froze. Then the door opened slowly. It was Daniel. "You're awake," he said with a soft smile. Amara held the blanket tight. "Where am I?" she asked. "You're safe," Daniel replied. "You're in my house." House. This place felt bigger than any house she had ever seen. Daniel stepped inside, but stayed near the door. "I didn't want to scare you," he said. "You fell asleep in the car. I brought you here after the doctor checked you." "Doctor?" Amara asked. "Yes," Daniel said. "You were cold and hungry. I wanted to be sure you were okay." Amara looked at her hands. "No one ever did that for me," she said quietly. Daniel did not answer right away. Instead, he pulled out a chair and sat down. "Amara," he said, "I want you to know something." She looked up. "I am not trying to replace anyone," he continued. "I just want to help you heal." That word felt strange. "Heal?" Amara nodded slowly. Daniel stood up. "There's breakfast downstairs," he said. "When you're ready." After he left, Amara got dressed. The clothes fit her perfectly. She walked slowly down the wide stairs. The house was beautiful but quiet. Not cold quiet. Peaceful quiet. In the kitchen, a woman smiled at her. "Good morning," the woman said kindly. Amara stepped back. Daniel appeared beside her. "This is Ms. Clara," he said. "She helps take care of the house." Miss Clara bent down slightly. "You must be Amara," she said warmly. "We've been waiting for you." Waiting. That word made Amara's chest tighten. Breakfast was warm. Eggs. Toast. Juice. Amara ate slowly, afraid it would disappear. Daniel watched her, saying nothing. Later that day, a social worker came. Amara felt scared again. She remembered her stepmother's angry face. The social worker spoke gently, asked questions, took notes. Amara told the truth. Everything. When it was over, the woman smiled softly. "You were very brave," she said. That afternoon, Daniel took Amara to a quiet room in the house. On the wall were photos. A woman. A child. Amara felt something heavy in her chest. "That was my wife," Daniel said. "And my daughter." Amara looked at him. "They died in an accident," he said simply. Silence filled the room. "I built this house after they were gone," Daniel continued. "But it never felt like a home." He turned to her. "Until you came." Amara did not know what to say. Tears filled her eyes. "Why me?" she asked. Daniel smiled sadly. "Because sometimes," he said, "life sends broken people to heal each other." That night, Amara stood at the window of her new room. City lights shined far away. She touched the glass. For the first time, she felt wanted. But far away, in a small house, her stepmother stared at her phone. A message popped up. "Police request. Please contact us regarding a missing child." Her smile faded. Her hands began to shake. The past she tried to throw away was knocking at her door. The phone slipped from her stepmother's hand. It hit the floor with a loud sound. She stared at the screen, her heart pounding. Her mouth felt dry. Her hand was shaking. "Missing child. Police request." She read the message again and again. "No," she whispered. "This can't be happening." She picked up the phone quickly and called the number. The line rang once, then stopped. A calm voice answered. "Child Services," the woman said. The stepmother forced a sweet tone into her voice. "Yes, hello," she said. "I think there is a mistake. My stepdaughter is not missing." There was a pause. "Ma'am," the voice replied, "we have reason to believe the child was abandoned." The word hit her like a slap. "Abandoned?" "No," the stepmother said sharply. "That's not true. We need you to come in and answer some questions," the woman said. The call ended. The stepmother dropped onto the couch. Her heart was racing. She thought the girl was gone. She thought no one would care. She was wrong. Across the city, Amara sat quietly in Daniel's house. A social worker sat beside her. Daniel stood nearby, his arms crossed. "We located your stepmother," the social worker said gently. "She will be questioned." Amara's stomach tightened. Daniel noticed. "She cannot hurt you anymore," he said calmly. Amara nodded, but fear still lived inside her. At the police station, the stepmother sat stiffly in a chair. Her makeup was perfect. Her clothes were neat. She smiled when the officer walked in. "I'm glad you called me," she said. "This has all been very stressful." The officer did not smile back. "Tell us why the child was left in a remote area," he said. The stepmother laughed lightly. "I didn't leave her," she said. "She ran away." The officer raised an eyebrow. "Ran away without food?" he asked. She paused. "She is dramatic," the stepmother said. "Always has been." The officer wrote something down. "And why was she found near a cabin in the forest?" he asked. Another pause. The stepmother crossed her arms. "I was teaching her responsibility," she said. "She needs discipline." The officer closed his notebook. "Ma'am," he said, "discipline is not abandonment." Her smile faded. Meanwhile, Daniel received a call. "Yes," he said calmly. "I understand." He hung up and turned to Amara. "They are moving forward," he said. "You are protected." Amara hugged her knees. "Will I have to see her?" she asked. Daniel looked at her. "Only if you are ready," he said. At the station, the stepmother sat alone now. The room felt smaller. The air felt heavy. She thought of the girl's face that night. Cold. Scared. She pushed the thought away. "I did nothing wrong," she whispered to herself. But doubt had entered her mind. Later that evening, the door opened. A man walked in, well-dressed. Calm. It was Daniel. The stepmother's eyes widened. "Who are you?" she asked. Daniel looked at her without anger. "I'm the man who found the child you left behind," he said. Her face turned pale. "She lied to you," the stepmother snapped. "She's ungrateful." Daniel stepped closer. "I saw her shaking," he said quietly. "I saw the fear in her eyes." The stepmother stood up. "You don't understand," she said. "She never fit in. People like her." "Stop," Daniel said sharply. The room went silent. That sentence, he continued, tells me everything. The stepmother's voice shook. You think you're better than me because you're rich? She said. Daniel shook his head. No, he replied. I'm better because I chose kindness. Her anger turned to panic. You don't know who I am, she said. You can't take her. Daniel leaned forward. I don't need to, he said. The law will. The stepmother sat down slowly. Her world was cracking. That night, Amara lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. She felt scared, but she also felt something new. Relief. For the first time, the lies that hurt her were being seen. And soon, the truth would stand in front of everyone. The courtroom was quiet. Too quiet. Amara sat on a wooden bench, her feet not touching the floor. Her hands rested in her lap, fingers locked together. She wore a simple blue dress. Miss Clara had helped her choose it. You look strong, Miss Clara whispered. Amara did not feel strong. She felt small. Across the room, her stepmother sat with her lawyer. She did not look at Amara. Her face was tight. Her jaw was stiff. Daniel sat beside Amara. He did not speak. He did not need to. His presence alone gave her courage. The judge entered. Everyone stood. The case began. The judge spoke calmly, asking questions. The lawyers took turns speaking. Words like abandonment, neglect, and endangerment filled the room. Amara listened, tried to understand. Then the judge looked at her. Amara, he said kindly, would you like to speak? Her heart jumped. She looked at Daniel. He nodded once. Slowly, Amara stood up. Her legs shook, but she stayed standing. She took a deep breath. She didn't like me, Amara said softly. The room leaned in. She said I didn't belong, she continued. She said I was a problem. The stepmother shifted in her seat. She took me to the forest, Amara said. She left me there. Her voice cracked, but she did not stop. I was cold, she said. I was hungry. I was scared. The courtroom was silent. Tears filled her eyes, but she wiped them away. I waited for her to come back, she said. She never did. The judge nodded slowly. Thank you, he said. That was very brave. Amara sat down. Her heart felt heavy, but free. Then it was Daniel's turn. He stood tall. I found Amara alone, he said calmly. No food, no heat, no adult. He looked toward the stepmother. That is not discipline, he said. That is cruelty. The stepmother's lawyer tried to speak, but the judge raised a hand. Enough, the judge said. After a long pause, the judge spoke again. The court finds that the child was abandoned, he said. Custody is removed immediately. The words echoed. Amara blinked. It was over. The stepmother stood up suddenly. You don't understand, she shouted. She ruined my life. The judge's voice was firm. You ruined your own, he said. The guard stepped forward. The stepmother was led away, her face full of anger and fear. Amara watched quietly. She did not feel happy. She felt peaceful. Outside the courthouse, sunlight warmed her face. Daniel knelt in front of her. You did great, he said. Amara looked at him. What happens now? She asked. Daniel smiled gently. If you want, he said, I would like to be part of your life. Amara's eyes widened. You mean stay? She asked. Yes, Daniel said. As long as you want. Tears filled her eyes again, but this time they were not from fear. She nodded. I want that, she said. Daniel hugged her carefully. That moment did not feel loud or dramatic. It felt right. That night, Amara stood in her room, looking at herself in the mirror. She touched her face. She smiled. For the first time, she believed something deep inside her heart. She was not unwanted. She was chosen. And her life was only beginning. 10 years passed. Time changed many things. The little girl who once stood alone in the forest was no longer a child. Amara stood on a stage now. Tall, confident, strong. Bright lights shined above her. People filled the room, listening closely. She held the microphone with steady hands. My name is Amara, she said, and I am here to tell you that your past does not decide your future. The audience was silent. Years ago, Amara was afraid to speak. Now, people waited for her words. She continued. I was once left behind, she said. Not because I was bad, but because someone could not see my worth. Daniel sat in the front row. His hair was gray now. His eyes were full of pride. He remembered the night he found her in the cabin. Cold, small, broken. Now she stood strong. After the event, Amara walked outside. The night air was warm, peaceful. Daniel joined her. "You were amazing," he said. Amara smiled. "You were the reason," she replied. Daniel shook his head. "No," he said gently. "You did the work. I just opened the door." Amara thought about her life. School had not been easy. Healing never was. There were nights she cried, days she doubted herself. But Daniel never left. Neither did Ms. Clara. They became her family. Later that week, Amara visited a small building on the edge of the city. A sign on the door read, "Amara's Place, a safe home for children." Inside, children laughed. Some played. Some read quietly. They were all different, but they shared the same pain. Amara knelt in front of a little girl sitting alone. The girl looked scared. "What's your name?" Amara asked softly. The girl whispered it. Amara smiled. "You're safe here," she said. "I promise." The girl leaned into her. At that moment, Amara understood something deep. Her pain had become her purpose. That evening, Daniel watched from the doorway. He wiped his eyes quietly. He did not save Amara. She saved him too. Far away, in a small apartment, Amara's stepmother watched the news on an old TV. A story played. "A young woman opens a new shelter for abandoned children," the reporter said. The stepmother stared at the screen. Amara's face appeared. Strong, confident, smiling. The stepmother turned off the TV. Regret filled the room. But it was too late. Back at the shelter, Amara stood by the window. She looked at the city lights. She thought about the cabin, the cold, the fear. She whispered to herself, "I survived." Daniel stepped beside her. "You did more than survive," he said. "You became light." Amara looked at him. "Thank you for finding me," she said. Daniel smiled softly. "I didn't find you," he replied. "You were always meant to be found." The camera pulls back. The children's laughter fills the room. The past fades. The future shines. And the story ends with one truth. A child left behind can rise. Love can rewrite destiny. And one kind choice can change a lifetime. Speech balloon ending message. Never judge a child by their struggle. Never confuse silence with weakness. And never forget, the ones the world tries to throw away often become the strongest.